Our next category is deal making, and it honors the memory of one of Canada's most influential lawyers and business leaders. Known as the man of 1,000 portfolios, Purdy Crawford was a coal miner's son who rose to prominence as one of Canada's best-known business and legal leaders while helping our country manage some of its largest financial crises. Purdy was an accomplished lawyer. He held an LLM from Harvard. He spent more than 20 years at the Toronto firm Osler, Harcourt, and served as Chief Executive Officer of Imasco from 1985 to 1995, controlling a host of major companies including Canada Trust, Imperial Tobacco, Shoppers Drug Mart. He was also Chancellor of Mount Ellison and sat on numerous Canadian public company boards. Purdy has a number of incredible career accomplishments to his credit, including having helped draft the legislation that became our current Securities Act. He chaired the Crawford panel on a single Canadian securities regulator. He was an officer of the Order of Canada. He was a member of the Canadian Business Hall of Fame, and he has been repeatedly honored by the business community for his many contributions. Purdy mentored a generation of Canadian business and legal leaders, always leading by example. We're delighted that some of his Osler colleagues are here tonight. Purdy has a large and loving family. He and his wife Beatrice have 6 children and 17 grandchildren. We're honored to have Beatrice with us tonight. As well as their daughter Heather and son-in-law Larry Ritchie, and their daughter-in-law, Julie Holland. The rest of the family is not here tonight because they just learned earlier this week that the family they're sponsoring from Syria arrived today at 6 p.m., and so they were at Pearson Airport meeting them. A true testament to the fact that Purdy's legacy lives on in his family. Winston Churchill said, "You make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give." And Purdy gave it his all the time, and what a life he had. Let's take a look at some of his incredible business accomplishments.
This deal-making award is dedicated to Purdy for good reason. He's known as a legend in Canada for deal-making, and he was the modern founding father of Osler Hoskin. We owe him a great debt of gratitude. He set the core values for us as a firm and set a really high standard for excellence in not only law but also business. But at his heart, he was a Five Islands, Nova Scotia deal maker. Purdy would have been really pleased to have this particular award honoring general counsel who are outstanding in deal making to be in his name.
Purdy was larger than life, but the way he got there was what to me is particularly interesting. He really focused on what mattered, and often it was about people. He took a real interest in who he was engaging with.
You knew you could trust Purdy. If you were in a gunfight, the one guy you wanted beside you was Purdy Crawford.
He played a very important leadership role in keeping the various stakeholders together. These were people who were really at war with each other, but they had one thing in common. They had tremendous respect for Purdy Crawford. Purdy Crawford had the softest hands of any deal maker that I've ever had the great privilege of working with. Hockey fans will understand what I mean. Soft hands is the ability to put the puck in the net. Someone once wrote that the one thing that can't be taught in hockey is the ability to score goals. It's something you're born with. To some degree, that's true of deal making. It's an instinctive skill. It's the ability to bring people together, to keep people together, to understand motivations on both sides of the table, your own and the other side's, and to come up with solutions that make everybody happy or everybody equally unhappy, and leading to a successful conclusion.
We at Osler were extraordinarily fortunate to have Purdy with us for so long, and we're really grateful for this opportunity to honor his legacy and to honor it in this particular way by recognizing outstanding Canadian General Counsel in the deal-making category.
So now on to the category itself. Carrying out a complex deal is a bit like writing and conducting a symphony. Both require creativity, broad technical excellence, and dexterity to achieve outstanding performance. Our judges use these criteria in deciding who will prevail in the Purdy-Crawford deal-making category. This category is not about dollar value. A mega merger or acquisition may be straightforward in structure, while a smaller transaction may require complicated solutions. This award recognizes innovation in the transaction and the outcome, the deal's overall complexity, how the nominee managed any cross-jurisdictional issues, and of course, how they conducted the orchestra, the internal and external teams. Here to present the award, Dale Ponder, Managing Partner and CEO of Osler's.
Thank you, Adrienne. Good evening, everybody. This is a terrific category for us at Osler Hoskin. We had the pleasure of having Purdy with us for so long, and he taught so many of us the art of the deal and to love the deal. And as I think everybody in this room knows, he really was Canada's iconic deal maker, and we owe him a great debt of gratitude for bringing us through parts of the financial crisis as he did. We couldn't have done it without him. It also is the legacy he left with us that we have a lot of lawyers who really are deal junkies. We love the adrenaline ride of the deal. But of course, it's not us who ride at the eye of the storm, it's general counsel. And tonight we have really outstanding candidates in this category, and you're going to meet them now. Oh, and he taught me soft hands.
The Purdy-Crawford Deal-Making Award is presented by Osler, Hoskin and Harcourt. The finalists are Bob Boren, Senior Vice President, Regulatory, Win Mobile. Loretto Grimaldi, Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer, Progressive Waste Solutions. Hugh Kerr, Vice President and Associate General Counsel, Sun Life Assurance Company of Canada. Jim Nikopoulos, Senior Vice President, General Counsel and Corporate Secretary, Element Financial. And a joint nomination, Trudy Curran, former Senior Vice President, General Counsel and Corporate Secretary, Canadian Oil Sands. And Janice Odegaard, Senior Vice President and General Counsel, Suncor Energy.
Congratulations to all these amazing candidates, and tonight the judges have chosen Hugh Kerr.
Well, I am truly surprised. Okay, Adrienne, if I got this right? There we go. First thing I want to say is I'm going to have a tremendous amount of fun with this on the golf course with my law school buddies this summer. What me hold the pin, not a chance, I'm Dealmaker of the Year. That ought to last about one hole until I'm going to get bludgeoned, but anyway, that's certainly worth that. I wanted to congratulate the other finalists. Again, by the sounds of the rigor which these deals go through in terms of the analysis, tremendous deals, and you're all terrific lawyers. I'm very honored by the award. I wanted to thank the advisory board, ZSA, and the National Post. I also wanted to thank Trish Callan, our general counsel for Sun Life in Canada, and Melissa Kennedy, our worldwide general counsel, for putting my name forward for consideration for these transactions. One of the real pleasures of working at Sun Life is to get to work with some really nice but also very smart business people. And two of them are with us here tonight, Tom Reed and Brent Simmons. These transactions wouldn't have happened without those two gentlemen, and guys, I share this award with you. I wanted to thank as well a couple of members of my team, James Hoffner and Susie Tang, two young lawyers with a bright future at our company, and they both made significant contributions to one or both of those deals. I wanted to thank our friends at Torrey's, in particular John Cameron, Tom Zarina, and Susan Nickerson. They were always there for us in the Bell transaction in particular. with some very timely and quality advice. And also wanted to shout out to Vlad Nisenko at Wilkie Farr in New York. He played, again, a very important role in the Bell transaction. And we couldn't have done these transactions without our clients, our new clients, Bell Canada, and two that I'm not at liberty to name. But you'll all appreciate that these are all deals are tough to do. But when you're doing a deal that's the first of its kind or the largest in this category, it's all the much tougher, all the much more difficult to convince decision makers to let those go forward. And so I thank them and commend them for having the courage and the fortitude to move these deals forward. And lastly, and yes, Adrian, I'm going to reach out, but in all sincerity say that sorry, we have to recognize the sacrifices of those who do support us, both during those late nights and weekends when you're doing the transactions, but just day in and day out. And so for that, I want to thank, and I need to thank my lovely spouse, Lisa, who's a fellow in-house counsel with the City of Toronto, and my 3 kids for all their patience and support through the transactions. Thank you again.